once you hit 60, 65, the risk of a fall that results either immediately in death is astonishingly high. If you're over 65 and you fall and break your femur or hip, the probability you will be dead in 12 months after that break, depending on the study, is about 15 to 30%.
What if you could live to 100 and beyond while enjoying great health, strength, and quality of life? It's possible, but only with the right strategies. We all want to live long lives, but simply existing into old age isn't the goal. We want those extra years to be healthy, active, and vibrant. So what does the science say about how to maximize health, not just lifespan? According to Dr. Peter Attia, exercise is perhaps the most powerful anti-aging intervention we have. Study after study shows that regular exercisers live up to a decade longer than their sedentary peers. But exercise also reduces the risk of chronic disease, prevents muscle and bone loss, and even slows cognitive decline as we age. In his interview with Dr. Andrew Huberman, Dr. Attia says exercise is one of the closest things we have to a true anti-aging drug, the hallmark of aging on muscle. While we tend to focus on lifespan and mortality, preserving health and quality of life as we age emerges as equally crucial. Unfortunately, declining muscle mass and strength as we age threatens our health in multiple ways.
People's ability to jump and land seems to be highly correlated with one's ability to not fall, or at least fall and control the fall in a way that leads to no or less severe injury.
Yeah, so Andy Galpin talked about this on your podcast. He talked about it on my podcast. What is the hallmark of aging on the muscle? It is atrophy of the type 2 muscle fiber. That's the hallmark.
Fast twitch
muscle fiber. So if you want to understand what looks different in 50-year-old Peter versus 18-year-old Peter, it's not my type 1 fibers. It's my type 2 fibers. It's my fast twitch fibers. It's my explosive fibers.
According to exercise physiologist Dr. Andy Galpin, atrophy of our fast twitch type 2 muscle fibers is the hallmark effect of aging on skeletal muscle. These fibers generate explosive force for activities like sprinting or jumping, yet they decay far more rapidly than slow twitch type 1 fibers designed for endurance. If we examine the timeline, we lose speed first as we age. The older adult can't sprint as quickly as when they were young. Next, we lose power, the ability to produce force quickly, which relies heavily on fast twitch fibers. And lastly, we lose some muscle size as both fiber types atrophy. For example, the average man will lose about 40% of his quadriceps muscle cross-section area between ages 25 and 80, but they will lose strength 2 to 3 times faster than mass, and speed is perhaps 3 times faster than strength.
I've seen some videos of some 80-year-old sprinters that are pretty impressive, and certainly 80-year-old gymnasts that are impressive. I've not seen very many videos of 80-year-olds dunking basketballs, for instance.
Yeah,
who are not taller than 6 feet 5 inches.
This means an 80-year-old may still have fairly sizable quadriceps. They haven't lost that much absolute muscle tissue, but their muscles have lost the ability to generate force rapidly. They cannot jump as high or spring up from a chair with the same speed and power that they could decades earlier. This decline contributes to slower gait speed, reduced balance and stability, loss of physical function, and overall frailty, all of which diminish health span. And frailty is strongly associated with disabilities, hospitalizations, and a reduced lifespan. The key to combating this fate is through targeted exercise. Lifting weights helps maintain size, but plyometrics, jumps, throws, and exercises focused on power and rapid force generation are essential to keeping our fast twitch fibers large and strong. This preserves speed, explosiveness, and quickness, all markers of youthfulness and vitality. To reap these astounding benefits, we must be more purposeful about how we exercise. Dr. Peter Attia advocates creating our own centenarian decathlon, a list of physical activities you want to keep doing into old age. The 4 pillars of longevity: When structured correctly, exercise acts as one of the most potent longevity interventions. This entails building a regimen around what Dr. Peter Attia calls the 4 pillars of longevity.
You cannot age well if you are not doing the type of training that is there to strengthen and delay or minimize the hypertrophy of your type 2 fibers. So everything matters, right? You have to be doing your zone 2, you have to be doing, all of these other things, but some component of your training needs to be stressing the type 2 fibers. You have to be doing strength training that taxes those fibers. You have to be doing reactivity training. You have to be doing explosive training.
Aerobic efficiency. This first pillar represents low-intensity cardio focused on fat burning. Known as Zone 2 training, it involves exercises like brisk walking, easy cycling, or swimming at a pace where you can still maintain a conversation. It contributes 60 to 70% of your heart rate. Maximum aerobic output. Here, the priority is boosting VO2 max, peak oxygen consumption through higher intensity intervals. Since VO2 max declines with age but predicts longevity, optimizing your score makes you functionally younger. A few VO2 max sessions weekly after building an aerobic base can dramatically increase this metric. Strength. Strength training grows increasingly important as we age to preserve muscle, power, and bone density. When programmed correctly, it also reduces metabolic dysfunction and insulin resistance. Key priorities include grip strength, deadlifts, weighted carries, and compound pulling exercises that mimic real-life functional movements. Stability. Overlooked by many exercise programs, stability provides a crucial foundation for safe, injury-free movement under load. This full-body motor control minimizes injury risk during strength pursuits and daily life activities. It requires relearning proper breathing patterns, gait mechanics, and other subtle movement skills we knew innately as toddlers. Jumping, landing, control, and stability. After age 65, accidental falls emerge as the leading cause of injury, hospitalization, loss of independence, and even death for older adults. But targeted training can significantly improve stability and lower fall risk. Specifically, exercises focused on jumping, landing, and eccentric control help preserve the balance, coordination, and proprioception needed to minimize fall likelihood and severity. Landing soundly demands adequate eccentric strength, also called braking strength, to decelerate the body and absorb force in the muscles. This occurs as muscles lengthen while still producing tension, such as when lowering a bicep curl or stepping down from a high step. Many older adults lack sufficient eccentric strength, especially in the quadriceps, to effectively control landing. This results in the knees violently locking, which transfers excess force to the ligaments and cartilage. Repeated over years, this contributes to osteoarthritis. Proper landing mechanics are also required to react and regain balance after a trip or stumble. Similarly, focused practice stepping down slowly from platforms of varying heights ingrains balanced, precise foot placement. Walking downhill, not uphill, also teaches key eccentric control. These exercises strengthen our brakes to make walking, using stairs, and sticking any landing safer. Diet patterns. Nutrition powerfully influences aging too. Diet patterns like pescatarianism and Mediterranean eating are associated with a longer lifespan. But longevity also demands metabolic flexibility, the ability to burn both glucose and fat. This requires strategic periods of metabolic deprivation via time-restricted eating, fasting, and low carb. Controlling mTOR, insulin, and inflammation also emerges as key. mTOR drives growth but accelerates aging. Fasting lowers mTOR, acting like a longevity vitamin. Keeping insulin low preserves insulin sensitivity, which typically declines with age. Regulating inflammation prevents chronic disease. Prioritizing sleep and emotional health. Sleep is similarly crucial. Research correlates both shortened and excessive sleep duration with higher mortality. Prioritizing sleep quality and consistency not just quantity, is ideal for longevity. This includes adopting regular bedtimes, blocking blue light at night, and creating an optimal sleep environment. Lastly, emotional health amplifies longevity practices. Loneliness and depression accelerate decline. Nurturing community, relationships, purpose, and engagement in activities bigger than oneself provides meaning and protection against despair. Conclusion: prioritizing exercise for strength, endurance and stability, metabolic flexibility, MTOR and hormone optimization, ideal biomarkers, sleep hygiene, and emotional health can profoundly extend the health span. Applying even a few of these powerful yet practical techniques can help you live vibrantly into your 80s, 90s, and beyond. While genetics plays a role, you have far more control over your health trajectory than you might assume. It's never too late to start defying age. The future of aging is brighter than ever. With the right lifestyle strategies, you can expect many extra years of health, strength, and happiness. If you enjoyed this, check out our video on how to revolutionize your life with Dr. Huberman's Morning Coffee Hack.